when Mikel Ascona was going to go for it, because he stuck right with him. So could there be a charge going into turn number 1 then, as Mikel Ascona and Fabien Vettel make their way down towards turn number 1? Just 3/10 between the two of them. Fabien Vettel is not close enough, I don't think. He's flashing his lights furiously, but Mikel Ascona has got it all absolutely sussed. He's king of the late breakers going into turn number 1. He braked much later than Fabien Vettel and was full of confidence in terms of where he could put the car through turn 1, turn 2, and heading towards turn number 3 as well. So Garcia Dest is still running there. You can see in the all-yellow number 3 car, despite the damage, but it was actually quite an innocuous collision with the barriers following the coming together with Philip Ellis, which was what actually provoked the safety car, with Philip Ellis's punctured car taking no further part in the race action. So Fabien Vettel actually now is under real pressure from Tommaso Mosca in the number 11 car, as they go absolutely side by side, and Mosca and Vettel, then Vettel will have the inside for the next turn.
We see Melandri getting clipped by, I think, Milan Donja in spinning. Marco Melandri gets turned around. I think would say it was Milan Donja. Yeah, he was.
I think it was.
He was.
Yep.
The orange car just behind Marco Melandri.
I can almost hear him saying in that wonderful voice he has, which is really deep, isn't it? Ta-da, chap. As around he went. Right, Fabien Vettel then. Late braking going into the chicane, and he's seen off for the moment Tommaso Mosca, but they were fighting very, very close together, weren't they? And once again, here comes Mosca. On the inside now, Fabien Vettel, which isn't necessarily the quickest way around that turn, but now if he makes it wide, Fabien Vettel goes for the switch back here and gets underneath him. This is brilliant. This is all playing out for P2, but what it's also doing is it's allowing Mikel Ascona to get up the road.
Yeah, we see now Tommaso Mosca just right behind the tail of Fabien Vettel. He was the king of the late breakers. Tried to go around the outside.
If he makes this work,
so he has now the inside line for corner number 2. Oh, a small clip. So Tommaso Mosca get a front, but it's nothing yet decided.
Milan Donja goes for a trip round by the barriers as well, but I have to say, Tommaso Mosca deserves this place now after that move in turn 1, because he carried so much speed, Alex. Oh, more panel rubbing between the two of them. Rubbing is racing, they say. Side by side, Fabien Vettel and Tommaso Mosca. And now Fabien Vettel takes the place back, but Tommaso Mosca comes in again through the shortcut that makes this sprint circuit.
They've been almost a full lap side by side.
Side by side, this is great.
And that again, trying to switch back again. Parallel both cars into the entry of the back straight. Going round, let's see if it's not running out of the racetrack now. Really good, carrying the speed. And Tommaso Mosca makes the place.
Oh, they're both on the push to pass and using those push to pass to full effect as they head up towards the chicane. I don't think this is all over yet, you know.
No, definitely it's not over yet. And it's playing on the hands of Mikel Ascona, definitely, who is managing to open a gap. And
through the NGK chicane they go. Oh, that was a brilliant lap or so, wasn't it? Where, as you say, very nearly the whole lap they were side by side. Great to watch. There is the number 4 car of Drew Ridge that's running in P5. Behind Drew Ridge is the car of Milan Donja now, who, as I mentioned, just while we were watching the Fabien Vettel and Tommaso Mosca racing, Milan Donja went out very, very wide. Fabian Volvend is in the points in P9. Garcia Rodest is P10, and it's Vert Castelli. Van der Laden, another one of those guest drivers, and Melandri is running in P14. So there is Milan Donja chasing hard and fighting hard with Yannick Brandt. Yannick Brandt trying to find a way past the Milan Donja car. Half distance or just over in this race. Car number 11 was under investigation for overtaking under the yellow, and the number 11 car, of course, is that of Tommaso Mosca.
The number 11, excuse me, yeah.
And no further action is going to be taken. Well, thank goodness for that, because both Tommaso Mosca and Fabien Vettel have delivered some incredible entertainment for us, as Yannick Brandt on the inside of Milan Donja, but loses out there. As Milan Donja flashes his lights at the car ahead of Drew Ridge. And
some more contact.
Bit of contact there between Kevin Arnold and Mike Beckhusen in the number 9s and 31 cars. So for the moment then, Beckhusen And here comes Arnold again. As they head towards the NGK chicane, we'll keep our eyes on not that orange car, but the next one. There it is. Chasing down Mike Beckhusen, the car of Kevin Arnold. Around the Coca-Cola turn goes our race leader. Well, crosses the timing line, in fact, our race leader, some 2.7 seconds up the road from Tommaso Mosca. Fabian Vettel is P3, Drew Ridge is P4, then it's Milan Doncia, Yannick Brandt, Mike Beckhusen and Kevin Arnold with this fabulous battle that they've got going on. And bear in mind that the championship leader, Philip Ellis, is out of the race, which means the points advantage that Michael Ascona becomes even more, as if he stays in front now and finishes by taking victory here in race 1 of 2 from the Audi Sport TT Cup across this weekend. So there, the number 43 car of Milan Doncia running in P5, and Milan Doncia is P3 in the championship on 108 points, so every single point is valuable for Milan as well. And Fabian Vettel now coming under the clutches, perhaps, of Drew Ridge and that number 4 yellow Audi Sport TT Cup car that we're watching. And of course, Drew Ridge is having to attack, but also keep a weather eye on the rearview mirror as well, as Milan Doncia is ready to pounce, although Milan Doncia is going to have to be defending from Yannick Brandt shortly, because Yannick Brandt's getting ever closer to the Audi ahead of him. So whichever way you look, at the moment, plenty of action going on in this Audi Sport TT Cup race. On this tarmac here at the Nürburgring. Race being led by Michael Ascona from Tommaso Mosca, then Fabian Vettel, and there's a real queue of 4 cars, all potentially fighting over that final podium place. Doncia and Yannick Brandt side by side. Yannick Brandt going for the outside line, but a point you made in earlier races, Alex, is that around that Coca-Cola turn, the outside in the wet conditions, you can carry more speed, and it's actually better than the inside.
Yeah, definitely. It's a corner where you can carry a lot of momentum through the outside, so it also allows you to brake later. If you want to go for the inside line, you need to brake quite early and stop the car a lot in the apex of the corner. That it's at the end it's not worth to do the inside line, so it's much better to go all around the outside, carry the speed, carry the momentum, and also will give you much better acceleration as your speed is higher, your momentum is higher.
So Drew Ridge now more worried about Milan Doncia than attacking Fabian Vettel ahead. So that's allowed Fabian Vettel just to put a couple of car lengths on Drew Ridge, because here comes Milan Doncia then on the outside of Drew Ridge now. And this is the fight going on for P4. Here comes Doncia then in the orange and white Audi Sport TT Cup car, all over the back of Drew Ridge, takes to the inside. Drew Ridge will carry a little bit more momentum around the outside, but expect Milan Doncia to have a go now down this back straight, which does have a kink in, but the kink is taken there absolutely flat out. So can Milan Doncia reel in the number 4 car as they head towards the NGK chicane? I think Drew Ridge has got the better of Milan Doncia on that occasion. So now it's when Milan needs to set up an overtake, really, for turn number 1. You start planning your overtake for turn number 1 around the exit of the NGK chicane and around the final turn as well. So expect Milan to have a go now as they start running downhill towards turn number 1. Drew Ridge dives to the inside to try and protect that inside line. Here comes Milan Doncia on the outside, and he will try to switch to the inside potentially. No, he's carrying too much speed to be able to do that, and actually he falls prey to Yannick Brandt in the blue car. So around turn 2 they go, and turn number 3. And what did Milan do wrong there? Because, you know, the speed he was carrying was too great, wasn't it?
Yeah, but probably he brake. I think he brake a little bit too late, and he was just doing a little bit too many meters. The speed was good, but he could have maybe do this speed or drive so fast with a tighter line, and he do so many meters went so wide that the tighter line. So that's why I said it's really difficult to have the proper line for the. Oh, what we see now, he will lose some momentum when he had to brake to avoid. Oh,
Yannick Brandt had got past Milan Doncha, and then Milan saw the opportunity to come back and did come back, and there was a little tap between Yannick and Milan, which sent Milan out bouncing across the grass.
Yeah, this just gives the opportunity to.
So, of course, what this does, it allows Drew Ridge to get up the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Here it is. Watch this, Alex. I mean, that's stoic defensive, isn't it? I mean, that really is. You're not coming past, chap. Well, here comes Milan again. Now he's got to fight and try and wrestle that place back again. And Drew Ridge is rubbing his hands with invisible soap, saying thanks very much, because he's not troubled now. So Yannick Brandt is ahead of Milan Doncha. Yannick Brandt is P5, and Milan Doncha now relegated to P6 for the moment as they head in towards turn number 1 with just about 3 laps left to run here in this Audi Sport TT Cup race.
And we see, by the way, Tommaso Mosca is lapping a little bit faster than Mikel Ascona. It's 1.4 seconds behind the leader of the race, and this was last lap was around half a second faster than Ascona. So,
oh, and it's a retirement for Kevin Arnold, who sort of kicks what's left of his car, and he has provided some great entertainment during the course of the Audi Sport TT Cup race this afternoon as well. You're absolutely right. Mikel Ascona is losing time to Tommaso Mosca, isn't he?
Yeah, see now the first sector, what is the difference? Yeah, and Fabian Vettel is also losing a little bit of time.
Okay.
To comparing to Drew Ridge.
Well, Drew Ridge at the moment is showing a clean pair of heels to Yannick Brandt and also to Milan Doncha, and trying to reel in as the rain begins to come down a bit more. So again, the changeable, perhaps the changeable track conditions and the grip changes means that the cars are offering different performances that we're looking at now in terms of their lap times. It really is falling very heavily down the back straight, isn't it? So wipers on full tilt for the Yannick Brandt car as he brakes and tries to turn into the NGK chicane and doesn't turn in very well, and allows Milan Doncha to get on the inside. Now this is a great overtake opportunity potentially for Milan Doncha, but Yannick Brandt may have more momentum going around the outside. Sure enough, he does. He's able to close the door now, but surely Milan Doncha is going to have a go going into turn number 1 this time. Doesn't seem to have quite the pace of Yannick Brandt as they run downhill now. There is Fabian Vettel. There's Drew Ridge. And here comes this battle that we've been talking about, which is for P5 in the race. The car of Milan Doncha gets very squirmy at the front end, but interestingly, Yannick Brandt has got no pushes to pass left, whereas Milan Doncha has got 3 left. But in these weather conditions, Alex, is the push to pass as valuable?
Yeah, of course, it might give you a small advantage if you are making a good exit of the corner. You need some extra traction or extra push. It might give you to have this extra little bit to make a position. So I think it's always helpful to have the push to pass. You just need to know when to use it properly, and this will help you for sure. When we see Mike Vekusen running a little bit wide.
Tried to hold the car through the gravel, through the grass, and back out onto the tarmac ahead of Fabian Volvend. And that going around was that in replay. That was the Kevin Arnold car, which sort of saw for his race in the end, didn't it? Now, initially, I don't think there was any contact on the Marco Melandri car, was there?
I need to see again the replay. I could not see the detail.
Of course, these are replays from earlier in the race. Fabian Vettel there in the number 55 car, and that was one of his sump grinding moments as he went across the curbs. And here's Melandri then, and here is our race leader, Mikel Ascona, who's now only
we see Tommaso Mosca run wide. This gives Fabian Vettel the opportunity to get past, and also for Drew Ridge will get past Tommaso Mosca.
Well, I was about to say that Ascona was losing time, but ain't losing time now, is he? So Milan Doncic now to the outside, trying to get past the number 8 car of Yannick Brandt. Those two are still fighting tooth and nail. So the big loser there is Tommaso Mosca, who has Drew Ridge ahead. And, well, that was it. It was coming out of, or actually midway through the Coca-Cola turn, wasn't it?
Yeah. Looks like he ran wide, a little bit too much momentum into the corner. Lost a little bit the line, and then you, like I said, when you go on these gravel paths, it's like it sucks you. As soon as you put a wheel on the stones, it's like
kind of draws you
in. Yeah,
exactly.
It's drawing all the car into the gravel path. So you need to take really care.
Well,
last lap of the race at the moment. Mika Rathkona leading the race.
Look at that, 7.4 seconds over Fabian Vettel, who's going to be P2, and Drew Ridge is going to bank a P3 potentially. Although Tommaso Mosca is trying to fight back, but he's probably a little bit too far back to be able to do any good. And, well, Milan Doncic has got past the Yannick Brandt car at long last, I'm tempted to say. So through the NGK chicane they go as the rain is really falling now. And here comes Tommaso Mosca then, and Drew Ridge. This for the honours of the final podium place. And who is it going to be? The fight for third place as Ascona takes the win from Fabian Vettel. Drew Ridge surely has done enough to take it. Yes, Drew Ridge takes P3, Tommaso Mosca P4, then that's Milan Doncic P5, Yannick Brandt P6. Then we will see the car of Simon Vert, I think, that will take P7. Then it's Garcia Rodest P8, Vivian Castelli P9. The best of the guests is the number 97 car of Marco Melandri. Then it's Mike Beckhusen. Wow, what a race. Audi Sport TT Cup is always entertaining. Today, the weather played its part in terms of challenging the drivers even more. And as you can see, the roller coaster to the left-hand side of the screen here, which sadly does not see as much activity as the tarmac around this circuit does. We celebrate a win for Mikel Ascona, which is great news for us in the championship because it narrows the gap between himself and Philip Ellis. Philip Ellis, of course, a retirement in the race.
No matter, you said plenty of excitement, plenty of overtake maneuver. We also had a safety car phase, so and you see now the conditions, which is raining a lot at the moment. So again, pouring down, raining cats and dogs, like you would say in the UK.
I think it rains as much here as it does in the UK.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
No, always. This is going to be Fabian Vettel's first podium, I think. Mikel Ascona P1, Fabian Vettel P2. Then it was Drew Ridge, Tommaso Mosca, Milan Doncic, Yannick Brandt, Simon Vert, Garcia Rodest, Vivian Castelli, and Marco Melandri. Rounding out the top 10. Then it was Fabian Volvend, Felix von der Laden, Mike Beckhusen, and we lost Matthias Dolderer, Kevin Arnold, and Philip Ellis. So there we have it. And of course, another race for the Audi Sport TT Cup tomorrow as we see Mikel Ascona take the checkered flag in torrid weather conditions. But by all accounts, the weather is going to be different tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, we're expecting a fully sunny day, no clouds, so blue skies. Temperature should be a little bit warmer, so looking forward for a dry day.
How important is